What's up, y'all? How is it going? Who we got in the chat today? We got Nathan, Jacarius, we got Angel, Sandy. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Lots to talk about today. I just gotta, pull open my notes. There we go. Woo. So good news, not as cold today. I mean, it's -10, so it's still cold, but it's, I'll take that over -20. And of course, now we got our Christmas music vibes because it's December now. Yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. I've had an interesting weekend, to say the least. But right now, I am stoked to talk about GH if y'all are. But also, if you have any stories from the weekend, let me know. We got our tree up this weekend. Christmas tree, fireplace decorations, window decorations, all that good stuff. All that's left is the outside. And I did get into the Christmas spirit a little bit. I'm a big kid and I'm a dork. So I like to go onto YouTube and watch like the Disney parades from the parks, like the Christmas parades. And I went to Disney Plus and watched the new Disney special, Mickey Saves Christmas, which is like very much like the classic Rudolph style, like the, what do they call that? Like the weird, what do they call it? Animation where they have like the models and they kind of just like move them around. That kind of animation. So yeah, I got into the spirit watching those kind of specials this weekend. Sandy, you got your decorations done? Very nice. Came in second place for an ugly Christmas sweater contest at a party. Nice. Oh man, I haven't gotten an ugly Christmas sweater yet this year. Last year I had one, but it was like very marijuana, like, just like a stoner Christmas sweater. And I ain't even really a stoner, but I just thought it was funny. And me and my friend Amber, we did like Christmas photos last year. It was a lot of fun. And sorry if I sound a little bit stuffed up. I am. It's just allergies as per usual, but I am all right. Yeah, I definitely want to find some like Christmas related stuff to do. Just like going to Christmas markets and like seeing Christmas lights. Like the really big houses that go all out. Yeah, in December I go all in on the Christmas vibes. So I am stoked. And of course on Wednesdays we're going to watch some Christmas specials for GH too. I think Christmas Day falls on a Sunday this year, y'all. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna go live that day, because like y'all are gonna be with your families. But we'll play it by ear. Okay, listen. I smoke it occasionally. I'm just not a big smoker. That's all. Well, you saw your two favorite Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life and Polar Express. I love those two. I usually watch those a little bit closer to Christmas itself. I start with the little stuff, and then I make my way up to like the big like classic specials that we all know and love. So I like checking out the new stuff, but I love watching the old stuff. So you know, I'm looking forward to that. Actually, while we were decorating the Christmas tree, we put on the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. We're that corny, okay? Me, my mom, and my grandmother. We're that ridiculous. Alright, but if y'all are ready to talk about GH, let me know and we will go. Oh, Jacarius, you said you're gonna film GH reviews, but gonna skip and catch up. That's fair, that's fair. It will be late. I need entertainment to do it. Because there's gonna be a lot of notes to take. Yep. Honestly, today I got my notes done really early. Like I'll do it at like 6 in the evening, and then just kind of write them all out. And then usually it's by the time I'm about to go live, like an hour before, that's when I finish. But I didn't have a whole lot to do earlier today, so I just kind of did my thing early, and then I took a nap. Let's get started. All right, I'm down to start. Yeah, because we got a lot to talk about. I know that we kind of touched base on some of it on Wednesday, but maybe some of y'all weren't there, and we're going to talk about it all. So with that said, what's up, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show. Let's get into it. After leaving Robert and Holly fans in a ball of confusion by having Holly drug Robert to steal the Ice Princess diamonds to give to Victor, we were subjected to a plot twist worthy of GH's glory days in the 80s. Robert was in the hospital recovering from his drugging, while Jordan asked him what happened. He was obviously groggy on the details, but the Metrocourt cameras showed Holly stealing the briefcase from Robert. And then meanwhile, Laura and Scotty had run into Holly at Rice Plaza, and Holly said that she had a business meeting to go to, slightly out of town, but her rideshare was taking a long time, so Laura offered to drive her. Jordan called Laura to let her know the situation, and Holly hung up the phone and held Laura at gunpoint and dropped her off on the side of the road and stole Laura's car to take to a cabin near the Canadian border. The next day, the PCPD tracked down Holly to said cabin and surrounded the place. Mac, Jordan, and of course Robert were all present, with Robert taking the reins on the mic, trying to talk Holly into giving up. Oh, you usually upload videos late, Jacarius? I'm looking forward to your show. I want to see it, so you let me know. Angel, you said all my close friends smoke weed or had in the past. It's almost a requirement to be my friend at this point. I don't even smoke. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not really a big smoker, because most of my friends will smoke at parties, and I don't like smoking at parties. Because then I get tired and I don't want to be there anymore. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, Holly refused to come out, and all of a sudden the cabin exploded. Now, at this very second, I was thinking, great, Holly is gonna vanish or be burned beyond recognition, because that's what GH usually does, right? Just to have a character exit, and I knew her exit was coming. I just thought her exit would be shrouded in mystery, and then a second later, out runs Holly, literally on fire, like flailing around. And, of course, Robert, he's screaming in terror, looking at her, same with Mac and Jordan. And Robert runs and covers her up with a blanket and screams, fearing the worst about Holly. And then he insists that he rides in the ambulance with her. Jordan wants Mac to stay behind for the investigation, of course. And the next thing we know, we see the ambulance parked, and Felicia is one of the paramedics, and we see Holly alive and well and no worse for wear in the ambulance with Robert smiling. I honestly did not see that coming. It is very rare that GH gets one over on me, but I did not expect this, because because I'm so used to like these writers just trashing these really like longtime characters. But basically, here's how it went down. Apparently, the night before, Holly stole the diamonds. The Dream Team came up with a plan to make sure Holly gets out from Victor's grip without arousing suspicion that Robert knows that she's working for Victor. So they planned everything to a T. She and Robert faked his drugging at the Metro Court so that she could steal the diamonds from him, made her way to the cabin that she had already planned on going to, where Felicia was already waiting for her with fireproof garments and gel to protect her from an explosion, and they rigged the stove so that it does explode when it's supposed to. That way it looked like Holly never betrayed Victor, but that she would be rendered useless to him. And the diamonds would end up with the WSB as a result anyway. They also made it look like Holly would have a long recovery at the clinic on the other side of the world, of course, so that Holly could escape to Canada with fake passports and international driver's license so that she would eventually be able to rescue Ethan out from under him without, alerting Victor. And then to make matters even more interesting, and another thing that I did not see coming, like I'm actually so impressed with this, you guys. It turns out Holly made a deal with Selena Wu to slip something into Victor's drink at the Savoy by offering her a piece of one of the Ice Princess diamonds. Now, we don't know what that something is. It wasn't something that was going to kill him, nor does it seem to be something that works right away, because we've seen Victor since, and he seems fine so far. But we know that he drank it. So I'm very curious to know what it was. And we talked about it a little bit on Wednesday. I think it's possible that it might be a truth serum because we've seen it on the show before with Hayden, if I'm remembering correctly, or something to do with Hayden, I think. Speaking of which, right now my mom is watching a Christmas special on, I think, Hallmark or Lifetime, and Rebecca Budig is on the show, Hayden Barnes. I don't know what the movie's called though. Didn't Holly learn to stop, drop, and roll? My goodness. Well, I think she was just trying to make it seem extra dramatic, Nathan, you said that was very creative of GH. Didn't see it coming too. The writers deserve kudos for that. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I knew Robert and Holly had something up, but Felicia shocked me. Yeah, Felicia really shocked me too, because we seen her at the PCBD, like, delivering Thanksgiving dinner. Like, she had herself an alibi. So it threw me. Jake, you said, no, for real, hey, Jake, you said, I was beginning to get disappointed in her return. So was I. When she drugged Robert and, stole the diamonds, I was actually so pissed. And, I was watching, the clips on YouTube as well, and, seeing everyone's reactions. Everyone else was so pissed, too, until they watched the next episode. Holly, Miss Wu, Victor has no chance, child. Exactly. In the end, though Holly left a path of destruction in her wake, there was no need to do all that stuff. I mean, in comparison to the destruction that Victor is going to cause, though, I think it's alright, yeah, they blew up a cabin. But to finish off, because there's more to this as well, Robert and Holly said their goodbyes, and it was such a beautiful scene, and I have to give kudos to the writers here too. She had the rest of the Ice Princess diamonds in her pocket, and Robert pointed that out, and she actually returned them. I honestly figured that she would have ran away with them, because making Holly a jewel thief is it's been in the writer's MO for the last 15 years, right? But the writers did her right. They did her right. She returned the diamonds, no questions. She's just, puzzled, what does Victor want with these things anyway? And, she just said straight up, the Ice Princess seems to bring, bad, whatever, mojo to those that covet it. But yeah, I'm just really glad that they didn't have Holly steal the diamonds, because it was they finally wrote her to be the heroine that she's supposed to be, not the petty thief that we've seen over the last 15 years. And then Robert and Holly kissed. He said, "Be seeing ya," and she walked away into the fog, but not before turning around and blowing him a kiss. Like, ladies and gentlemen, for those paying attention, that is how you write for a super couple. That is how you write for characters who have been on the show for 40 years and have all that history. I hardly give these writers praise for much of anything these days, but I truly felt that the writers handled Robert and Holly's scenes this time round with such respect for the history between the two characters, and who, you know, longtime fans that have watched much longer than most of us on here have. You know, the ones that watched her and Robert 40 years ago. And, you know, not just as, like, a couple, but, like, even throwing Felicia into that sort of group. Like, having them all work together and, like, finally one-up the bad guys. Because one of my biggest qualms since 2012, as glad as I am that Ron and Frank brought all these characters back. Anna, Felicia, Robert, you know, Holly, Mac, like, having these characters all in, like, an actual story again throughout the years, they always get defeated by the bad guys, and it irritates the hell out of me. And this is the first time we've actually seen them get, you know, ahead of the game. And that's, you know, that's what most people remember about these characters. These are, like, super spy badasses that have dealt with so many bad guys. And to have them constantly, like, I don't know, constantly duped by these mediocre bad guys always pissed me off. And this is the first time that we're really seeing them one-up the bad guys. And Victor's pissed, okay? Like, because he's still unaware that they pulled this off, right? But he just thinks that the diamonds are missing, and I'm sure by now he realizes that the WSB has them. Sorry, I'm just reading your guys' comments. Miss Wu working against Victor is exciting. She needs to get together with Robert and everyone else and finally take Victor out. Ms. Wu has her name in too many things. Sunny needs to pay attention to her. We're going to get into Sunny because I got to say something about that too. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm definitely going to miss Emma Samms. Obviously, those are her last scenes for now. I've loved having her on the show, and Emma is such a class act. And I'm really grateful that the producers accommodated her illness the way that they did. Because, you know, if you don't, I'm sure most people know what Emma Samms has been going through. And so I think to us, we can tell what these writers have done for her. They have her sit down every chance that they get, and they don't have her going too crazy in scenes where she's standing up, but they keep it flowing nicely. Like, it all makes sense. It's not, like, jarring or anything. And I know for a fact she'll be back next year for sure. Like, they will wrap up the story during the 60th anniversary. Tristan Rogers has said himself that she will be returning, but the story is just on hold for now because her part is over for now. But, you know, eventually we got to see her rescue Ethan. And I think that Holly's going to lay low for a while so that she doesn't draw suspicion too quickly. So that, you know, Robert can save Anna as well. Funny enough, I know I've been saying that I'm convinced that Finola's been on her break. Because she typically does go this time of year. But she's not on break. Finola confirmed that. So, interesting. So I guess we'll probably see her sooner rather than later. But yeah. While Victor was at the Savoy, Britt happened to be there as well, and she was in pretty rough shape. Most people in the Savoy thought she was drunk, but it's her Huntington's disease. And you have to remember that Victor is aware of her disease because that's how he tricked Liesel into going on a plane, right? Where Scotty was also there and then got pushed out of the plane by Victor's men. But yeah, he almost spilled the beans, but thankfully Obrecht was there to slap the shit out of him before he could reveal it to the public. Obrecht also put Cody on notice, who was also there, wanting to know what Britt was hiding. And she refused to let him know, of course. She had offered him money to leave Britt alone. And he was like, keep your money. I'll stay away from her. She doesn't want me around her anyway. Listen, y'all know that I think Cody's hot. With that said, I feel like these writers need to pick a lane with Cody and stick with it. Either he's a scumbag or he's a good person or somewhere in the middle, but like they're not doing a good job at keeping it in the middle. Like it's like they don't know where to take him. And it's very noticeable. Alright, y'all. Next in my notes, let's talk about the Quartermaine Thanksgiving. We did talk about it on Wednesday a little bit, but, we got to see a classic Quartermaine disaster. It happens like it always does. The Qs, particularly Olivia this time around, was determined to have a turkey for Thanksgiving dinner, and boy did they get one alive and well. And Leo let it loose, and all the Qs could do was watch from the window as the destruction ensued. I loved it, and naturally they ordered pizza from Luigi's. It amazes me that they still find ways to have a disaster at the Quartermaines after like 30 years of this. But I love it. It's a tradition. I don't know. I just enjoy watching it. What are y'all saying? Oh, Nathan, you said you just feel like the writers don't know what to do with Cody, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I think part of the problem, most likely, is that they plan to go all in with Britt and Cody, but with Britt leaving for a while, I'm not convinced she's leaving for good. With Britt leaving for a while to shoot whatever show she's shooting, like, they had to put on hold, so, like, there's just a bit of limbo there. And then they don't know, like, if she's going to be full-time for the rest of the series as well. So, yeah, it's a tricky situation behind the scenes. But, yeah. Anyway, back to the Qs, though. There was some drums. Chase decided to confront Brooklyn on not writing a letter to get Chase reinstated at the PCPD, and she couldn't come up with a great excuse beyond, I did it for us. And he basically told her to shove it and broke up with her. And, at one point I would have cared. I was really invested in these two. You guys know this, but with this awful story with Link, like, I'm so over it. I'm over it. I don't care that they broke up. I really don't. And of course, the next day, Chase confides in Sasha about it, and she reminded him on how they two once made a choice for their significant others that seemed right for everyone at the time, but was so wrong and ended up hurting them in the end. What will Chase do with that information? Again, I don't know. I don't care. Suffice to say, Brooklyn felt guilty enough to decide to write a letter, but the due date had already passed, and the PCPD already decided that they wouldn't reinstate him. So Chase seems to be out of the job permanently, unless whatever Brooke has planned works. She called someone. I don't know who she called, but it'll be. I'll be surprised if it works, because Brooke's plans usually don't pan out very well. Man. So I'm just checking something there. Anyway, speaking of Sasha, I'm both worried and relieved for her. On the one hand, Gladys seems to be gambling with Sasha's money, which sucks. I don't want Gladys's growth as a character to be demolished by this guardianship situation. On the other hand, though, she seems to be handling her grief quite well. But we did see a great conversation with Sam this week. Nina had got Sasha to be in charge of decorating Rice Plaza for Christmas, which is where her and Chase had their conversation. But we see Sam offer her help as well. And when kids become a topic, Sam actually opens up about how she lost her firstborn, and it's so rare that we hear Sam mention baby girl McCall. So it was nice to have them kind of relate in that way. And, you know, it really worked for the conversation. It was a bit weird seeing Sam be like, you can talk to me about anything, because they're not really that close. But they did spend Thanksgiving together because Sasha and Gladys and Sam and Dante and Nina were all at Sunny's house for Thanksgiving. Weird combination, but whatever. We gotta talk about Nina, though, because even though she acted confident that Sasha could handle herself as a decorator, Nina thought that she might need some friends to support her and pays Willow a visit to ask her to check in on Sasha. Naturally, it happened on a day where Willow wasn't doing so well health-wise. She is battling leukemia, as you guys know. Not that she's told anyone beyond Michael. Edmund, you said so weird that Sunny and Sam had a baby, right? Such a weird, like, thing to like, look back on. Oy. And now she's dating his son. But yeah, basically Willow told Nina it wasn't a good time, and Nina called her selfish, and Willow basically accused Nina of using Sasha as an excuse to try and see Wiley and ripped her a new one, telling her to shut up really loudly multiple times. And honestly, it was kind of great. Like, I love seeing Willow get feisty. Yeah, exactly. The way that they let Nina have it. Like, Willow, like, I've never seen Willow so angry on the show. Like, seeing her scream that loudly, I was just like, holy shit. She's just, shut up! Like, I was laughing so hard. Oh, man. And then, of course, Carly's outside when this is happening and enters the house, and then Willow collapses. She was fine. You know, Carly and Nina put her on the couch, and Carly pulled her outside and talked to Nina. And she actually did it in a very civil way. She was like, you know, she was like, I believe that you had good intentions for Sasha, but the best thing you can do for Willow is to just leave her alone. But I don't know if Carly's just being civil because she wants to not give Nina any sort of, any sort of chance to stick herself back into Willow's situation, because obviously she knows that Nina is Willow's mom, and she's going to be hiding that fact. It's mentioning baby Lila. You don't hear Sam mention her first baby at all nowadays. Yeah, true. Nina is so pushy. Yep. It was awesome to see Will scream at her like that. Yeah. Sam and Dante never mention her daughter, his sisters. They do mention their brother Leo and sister Christina. Yeah. Yep. Angel, you said you watched the clip of Courtney calling the cops to have a patrol car around Alcazar's house because Sunny was about to unalive Alcazar. Sam was watching from the stairs as Sunny's girlfriend. Weird. And seeing Sunny and Sam kiss in the bedroom in the penthouse. Interesting. And yeah, isn't that technically the penthouse that they're living in right now, Sunny and Nina? It's like the writers don't want us to know about who Lila's father is, where we all know it was Sunny. I bet you a lot of people, like, if they know about baby girl McCall at all, they probably think it was Jason's. Just because they were together at the time. But, yeah. No, it was Sunny. Sunny's sperm strikes again. But yeah. But going back on Carly, though, like, this is definitely going to bite Carly in the ass because obviously she's not aware that Willow has cancer and, you know, she needs a bone marrow transplant and it's like a life or death situation. It's not just about the baby's health. And then Drew apparently found a lead of some sort in the search for Willow's biological parents. So I'm curious to see how she will lead Drew astray. Or if the writers will actually surprise us and just have Carly be honest with Drew. That penthouse has way too much history. Yep. Sam practically would have been a stepmom. Yep. Oh, I hate that Carly's keeping the Willow and Nina secret. Yeah, me too. I want her to tell before someone else finds out. But yeah, speaking of Carly and Drew told Michael that they were in a relationship and why they had to keep it a secret. But Michael told Drew that life is short. Grab onto that relationship with all you have. It's almost as if Michael's coming from a place where his girlfriend has stage 4 cancer or something. Drew did pull Carly into a kiss at the Q's without worrying who might see them. And no one did, I think. We'll see if he's that brave if Ned is around. Angel, you said if I ever got with Sonny in the soap opera world, I would make him throw out the old bed sheets and get new ones. He probably does, though. He probably has new bed sheets for every day of the week. Michael did find out about the incident with Nina as well, and he's starting to think that people should know about Willow's illness so that everyone will know how to treat her during this time. And Willow's probably not down for that because she wants to keep everything a secret. Like, just, you know, bite your tongue and just get yourself some dignity, girl. Like, yeah, you might feel like you're losing some, but if people know what you're going through, they're gonna treat you, yes, differently, but they're gonna treat you very nicely as well. Because they'll understand that you want things to be as normal as possible. You just gotta lay down that sort of expectation with them. And I'm sure they'll do her best, or their best, the Q family, to keep things as normal as possible for her. Also have Sonny get an STD test. He needs to be doing that regularly. Oh, man. Okay, but since we are talking about Sonny now, actually, hold on. I think there's something else I want to talk about first. Yeah, before we talk about Sonny, let's talk about Joss and Dex. Port Charles is so full of secrets right now, y'all. Another one of them being Joss's feelings for Dex. I'm not saying it's a well-kept secret. It's just a secret from Cam, and boy, we need Cam out of that relationship. Carly caught on right away, especially when Joss announced that she's changing her major and wants to become a doctor. And she wants to make sure Joss wants to become a doctor for more than just knowing what to do the next time Dex gets shot at. Never know when she'll need to see Dex shirtless again. Just kidding, because it already happened. Joss made her way to Dex's apartment to check on him, and of course, he was already shirtless, and they were so ready to bang, and then Sonny knocked on the door. Now, before Sonny did that, though, Valentine met with him at his office and told him about some security team that wants to do business with him because it could be beneficial to the both of them. Both Sonny, the security team, and Valentine. And Valentine warned Sonny that if he refuses, it could be trouble for him. And my initial thought is, why on earth are we giving Sonny a new enemy? Like, the one that he currently has is already running around circles, like, for him. And, like, she is, like, keeping him in the dark and making an absolute fool out of him. And he is blissfully unaware. Like, he doesn't need a new enemy. His current enemy is doing just fine playing him. Yeah, Joss needs to tell Cam the truth. Absolutely. It's not right. It ain't right. Listen, I don't hate Joss and Dex. I get it. But, like, the least Joss can do is be honest with Cam, because they've gone through so much. They grew up together. He deserves that much dignity. And even Carly said, like, you need to tell Cam the truth, because the longer you hide it, the more it's gonna hurt him when you break up with him. Like, you're already, like, going to his place and making out with him and, like, flirting, and, like, you would bang if the opportunity presented itself. And it almost did. And they almost would have if Sonny wasn't at the door. Valentine set him up. I was blown away. I mean, honestly, it's like, it's so dumb. I love that Sonny kind of, like, reminds Valentine that, like, you almost killed Spencer when he was a kid. Because I feel like the writers tend to, like, brush it under the rug. And Valentine's like, nah, he was not in any danger. Yes, he was. You would have killed his ass, Valentine. Ugh. Like, at this point, like, he's still holding that one girl hostage. Claudette. Claudette's just out there somewhere, being held captive by Valentine. And his daughter still thinks she's dead. I love when Carly said people will say like mother, like daughter. It's true. It's true. Jocelyn is Carly's daughter. Through and through. I mean, she's less devious, I think. But, you know, in terms of the guys, she likes them bad boys, and she don't care about the good guys that she dated. She will throw them under the bus for a bad boy. Edmund, you said you'd really love to see Claudette come back. I didn't care for the character much, but I think it was wrong that, like, Valentine put his daughter through all that trauma of losing, like, the only mother that she knew at the time, all to just cover his own ass. Like, that always rubbed me the wrong way, and that is still why, partially why, to this day, I'm not a fan of Valentine. He's a piece of shit. And I hate him with Anna, too. Back to Sunny, though. I did hear a rumor that Dex may have a connection to that security team that Valentine told Sunny about, which may divide Dex's loyalty 3 different ways, which is more trouble for Dex in the future, if that's true. I don't know if that's actually true, though. But yeah, Dante also visited Sunny and put him on notice because he's getting real sick of having to turn the other cheek to Sunny's crimes, like beating Dex up in a freezer and helping Anna escape. Like, dude, this isn't new. You've known your father as a mobster for, like, almost 13 years now, and Sunny knows you're a cop. Like, he's like, if you gotta arrest me, arrest me. Like, I'm not gonna love you any less. But obviously Dante's in a position where he doesn't really want anyone to find Anna either, because he's Team Anna all the way too, so keep your mouth shut and suck it up, Dante, for now. You can arrest Sunny later. I love the actress that played Claudette. She was just gone. One life to live. Cool, cool. Alright. Moving on, let's talk about Trina for a second. She's still butting heads with Curtis a little bit, only because he's worried for her safety and having Marshall keep an eye on her, making sure she doesn't sneak out of the house. I think, you know, obviously Trina was mad, but I think that Curtis handled the conversation with Trina pretty well. I just can't help but think that they're just writing angst where there is none between these two characters, just to make the reveal that Trina is his daughter much worse whenever the writers decide to go there with that story. And they obviously will. That's obviously the intention, but, like, it just seems like forced angst, and it's very jarring and very obvious. And when it's such a heavy-handed situation, it takes you out of the story. Like, they don't need drama between them for it to be harder when it's revealed that Curtis is her father. That's when the drama can begin, you know? Like, it's unnecessary. And it's contrived. It's contrived. Dante had me sighing. I mean, he knows who his father truly is. Did he expect him to... Yeah, exactly. Like, Nathan... Like, even Sunny said that to Dante. Like, I know that you're a cop. Like, if you have to arrest me, arrest me. Like... They, you know, I feel like it was long established, way back then, that, like, if Sunny commits a crime, Dante's not going to be able to look the other way. And he's acting like it's all Sunny's fault. Can't believe they let Trina eat Terry's piece of pie. They can make more pie for Terry. Come on. But it is what it is. Yeah, they'll make more pie for Terry. Don't worry. They need to stop drawing it out and reveal who Trina's dad is. That's the problem. All these other storylines are dragging and dragging on so much. Yeah, that is a real issue with GH at the moment. I'm glad that the Victor one has been picking up speed, but obviously with Holly gone, it might slow down a little bit. But it is an issue when all these storylines keep on like getting paused and pushed back a little. Like the Hook Killer, for instance. Let's talk about that. Well, actually, first, before we talk about the Hook Killer and Esme, let's talk about Spencer. He got a visit from his dad and Uncle Victor, and he was less than thrilled about it, and basically told his dad to piss off. He wants something to do with him since he slept with Esme, obviously. Victor tried to demand loyalty from Spencer because they're so close to the moment the Cassadines will have to bind together for the greater good, which obviously has to do with the Ice Princess diamonds. It's going well so far, Victor, isn't it? I mean, literally all the Cassadines hate you right now. Spencer included now, especially since Cyrus appeared and called Victor out for putting a hit out on Spencer's grandmother Laura and Martin. Not that Cyrus should talk, because he's tried to kill them too. But yeah, after Spencer heard that, he looked at Victor with disgust. So I am honestly impressed that Spencer hasn't offed himself yet, because like the family he has, they're all insane. Laura is the most sane, but like that's all. All he's got is Laura. Good God, that poor kid. Contrived, Ruth. I just mean that it just seems like how do I explain it? It just seems like a false way to create angst where there shouldn't be any. Like it's unnecessary. It's contrived, as in it seems like bullshit. That's the best way I can describe it, Ruth. I love the way Cyrus handled Victor. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with Cyrus because he clearly has an agenda, but he does have a point. And like, to be fair, he probably is protecting Spencer the most out of everyone that's in there. Because you know, when it was just Sunny and Victor, Spencer was still getting beat up on. So now he seems to be fine. Yeah, wait until Spencer finds out his dad got his ex pregnant. Exactly. Oh my God, he might kill Nicholas, honestly. Yeah, he doesn't know yet. You're right. He doesn't know. But yeah, let's talk about Esme. Nicholas is still holding Esme hostage, of course, and Elizabeth is helping by checking in on her health and offering her prenatal vitamins to take care of herself. Esme seeks advice from an imaginary Ryan Chamberlain who says to put the baby's health in danger. And she doesn't know how to feel about it. She's obviously a little bit protective of this baby, but I think most of that feeling is because if the baby dies, so does her leverage against Nicholas. So she throws out most of the vitamins, keeps 4 or 5 of them so that she can use that as a scare tactic without putting the baby's health at risk for too long. How much time is Cyrus doing? I don't know. I don't think they ever stated how much time he's doing, did they? I don't know, Sandy. But yeah, speaking of Ryan Chamberlain, though, the PCPD finally remembered that they're still looking for the Hook Killer, and that it could very well be Esme. And since Esme has had a bit of an obsession with Ryan Chamberlain from everyone else's point of view, Mac and Kevin asked Ava to try and work Ryan so that he'll give away her possible location. Obviously, Ryan wouldn't have a clue at this point where Esme is. Like, I think he knows that they've made contact, but he doesn't know that she's being held hostage by Nicholas. But yeah, obviously Ryan wouldn't have a clue where she is, but it's always fun to see Ryan and Ava interact, even though he has to act like a potato around her. Interestingly enough, Heather Weber currently happens to be at the same institution as him now, and Dante had visited her to see if she had any info on Anna and who the driver was that helped her escape. Heather later calls Scott after Dante leaves to try and get him to utilize that to her advantage to get her out of Dodge, and he refuses as well because Scott knows better. He only visited her out of respect for Franco, really. again, I am enjoying. I forget the actress's name. I'm enjoying her portrayal of Heather. I like her as Heather, genuinely. Angel, you said that baby is her life ticket. Honestly, I'm surprised that Nicholas just didn't make Esme get an abortion. That would have solved his headache with that. Honestly, I'm surprised too, but how far along was she in that pregnancy, though, right? They didn't really specify. Because they had sex a long time ago, you know what I mean? She was gone for months. But anyway, eventually, Heather and Ryan cross paths, and Heather seems terrified of him, and Ryan seems less than thrilled to see her. So I think it's safe to say we found Esme's mother. Which I'm glad, because I know some of y'all thought it was Felicia. I am more convinced than ever, that Heather is her mom, and Ryan is her dad. But I do wonder if the writers remember that Heather was sending Ryan Chamberlain fan mail at some point. Because I remember, like, when they showed that Spencer was writing back and forth with Ryan, so was Heather. And I think they were reading Heather's letter to Ryan at the time that they showed Spencer's letter to Ryan. Have Esme drink some pennyroyal tea. Honestly, yeah, I don't want this baby to be born. You know, that baby is in the same category as Wiley for me. Like, Wiley should have never been born either. Good lord. All these psychopaths having babies. Also could be Heather Weber and Ryan Chamberlain. Oh, like as the hook killer? Yeah. Like, I'm not ruling out that Esme isn't the hook killer. I think it's such an obvious choice, but they could go anywhere with it, really. People were actually speculating on whether Nell is the hook killer, actually, because she would hate Jocelyn, and she would hate Diane, and she would hate Ava, and she could easily just go after Trina just to put more suspicion on Esme. And maybe that's why Oz Haggerty was killed. But, you know, for the time being, we're just going with, we don't know who the hook killer is. Everyone's pointing at Esme, and that's why they're trying to track her down. But yeah, that was GH in a nutshell, you guys. I actually really enjoyed this week. I'm a little bit sad that, again, that Holly's gone, because I truly, and I don't want to get emotional, but truly, it's been heaven seeing Robert and Holly and Anna and Laura and Mac, and Felicia all working together and actually finally one-upping a bad guy that has been giving them hell this whole time, you know? And obviously they're still duping him, and I hope that they can ride that coaster for a while. The Hook has retired and moved to a senior community. I swear, Sandy, like, you're probably right. They forgot all about the Hook for a while. Some of us were speculating it's Esme's nanny. Yeah, I think that's also a possibility. Sam forgot that she was supposed to be tracking her nanny down. Yeah, like Heather... Oh, you think Heather's the Hook killer? It is possible. But I just, I think they're going to try to put as many suspects under the roster for the audience as well, so that we don't figure out who they have pegged as the killer. And I think that they do, in this case, have the killer picked out. I just think that they're going to give us many, what do they call it? Red herrings to just throw us off here and there. Because I don't think anyone here is sure that it's one particular person, right? Because, yeah, we've all speculated Esme. We've all speculated the Danny. Now we're speculating Heather as well. Definite possibility. The person that I read on the message board, Nell, it makes sense. So I think they're going to line up a bunch of suspects. And to be honest, I think that they'll try to make it seem like it's Trina as well, because they keep on bringing up the schizophrenia thing. There's no way they're still talking about it at this point, and it's not going to rear its head in some way. I think maybe they will give Trina schizophrenia, and they're going to try to sort of make that a way of her, like, being a suspect in the killings of all these people connected to herself. Not that that makes sense in any way with schizophrenia, but I'm just trying to think of the writers and their lack of knowledge when it comes to health stories. It wouldn't surprise me. Because when they gave Marshall, or when they revealed that Marshall had schizophrenia, they didn't really educate the audience on, like, what schizophrenia really is, you know? They just said, yeah, he had it. That's why he went to jail. That's why he was in an institution. But they didn't really go into details of what it's like to live with it. He's basically just been saying, you know, I've been taking pills and I'm fine. And he seems fine. But there has to be a reason for it, right? So, like, I don't think that... I think that it's likely that we're going to see Trina with schizophrenia. Sounds like the hook is Esme because of the pauses in the killings. Yeah, but also, like, I think... Oh, one thing that I saw when someone was speculating on Nell is that she could be keeping up with the times in Port Charles. And if she's trying to put suspicion on Esme, since people do think that it's her, you can have schizophrenia and have a family if you're medicated and getting help. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even I know this because I've known people with schizophrenia as well. But I'm just saying that the writers are not educating the audience, and it wouldn't be the first time that the writers uses a health thing to tell really ridiculous storylines. But I'm going to try to have a bit more faith in the writers, just because I think that they deserve that a little bit with how they handled Holly's return. Truthfully, I'm like so impressed on how they pulled that off. And how they wrote Holly and Robert with such dignity and respect. I think that they, we talked about it earlier. I think that they really handled Holly and Robert with like the fragility that they deserve as such a big legacy that they left on GH. It's just nice to see the writers knowingly take care of these characters, and I think it's a great step going into the fact that we're on the 60th year, or going into the 60th year. It gives me faith that we're going to have a really good story next year for the 60th celebration. Marshall is full of excuses for being a deadbeat. Yeah, gotta love them deadbeat dads, hey? But yeah, that's all my notes, guys. What did you guys think of GH? Like, do you agree with me on, like, what were your guys' thoughts on how they handled Holly's exit and Holly's story? Emma says she will be back, but it didn't sound long term. I mean, to be honest, first of all, she lives in the UK with this disease that she doesn't know if she's going to get better. It's like, it's hard to write her in long term right now. And I can respect that from a behind the scenes point of view, because we all know what Emma is going through, and I'm okay with her coming back when she can, even if it does have to be in like little arcs here and there. Especially if they're going to write it how they have written this return that she just wrapped up. Never forget the spina bifida story for Donna. Agreed. Brought up and then forgotten by the time she was born. Tragic. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, the day after Holly left, I was so uninterested. Because it was just, like, you know, it was stuff with Chase and Brooke, and it just seemed like all these like fluffy stories that, you know, no one really cares about kind of most of the stuff that we see in the rest of the week. I mean, I was like, where is Victor, like, the next day? Like, we didn't see how he reacted to whatever drug he was given. And then even when we saw Victor, we still didn't see him get a reaction from that drug. It was so weird. Holly got the perfect exit. Agreed, Sandy. Holly's storyline was a huge roller coaster, but they did right by her at the end. Yeah, I think, honestly, how they handled her exit really fixed a lot of the stories that Holly has been in since 2006. Because I think about the virus outbreak in 2006 and how she was basically holding the entire town hostage with a virus that literally killed Tony and others. And, you know, it got Robin sick. Like, it got all these people that she cared about in grave danger, and she was doing it for money, which is so un-Holly-like. And obviously the writing got a little bit better for Holly, but, like, not by much. You know, she was still conning Luke with Ethan, and, you know, she was just doing little missions here and there, which didn't involve giving the character any real meat. So it didn't harm her a lot of the times. Like, I'm talking like 2013 onward, her returns since then. None of her returns from that point on necessarily harmed her, but they didn't do her any favors either. So, and I also think about like Luke's exit and just how disastrous it was, because, I mean, first of all, Holly claiming that she didn't know that Luke and Laura were pregnant with Lucky at the time when she was there for the announcement. And that's why she was okay to sleep with Luke. Like, that annoyed me. But I don't know, I get the sense that these writers might have actually been really hardcore Holly and Robert fans. Because this is the first time this set of writers is handling Holly, right? So, I don't know. I'm impressed. I really am. I really want to know what Holly had in that vial for Victor. Can't wait. Yeah, I really hope it's truth serum, so that he just like lets all his plan out to the people that need to hear it. Hopefully he'll do that to Nicholas, and hopefully to like Laura and Robert. You know, all the people that need to hear it. Maybe he'll even slip and let them know where Lucy is. But yeah, the exit, y'all, when she blew him a kiss, when Holly blew Robert a kiss, I was getting choked up. I was like, that is a moment for Robert and Holly fans to enjoy. It was handled so well, y'all. That is just the highlight of the year for me, honestly. Because I am a big Holly and Robert fan. I also really liked Robert and Anna, though, so I'm a little bit torn. But I think that Robert and Holly should be together in the end. They need their chance, damn it. Alright, y'all. But I think it's time to wrap things up. You're happy that Holly's gone? Well, I agree to disagree, Jacarius. I love Holly. I love Emma Samms. I'm grateful. She's a veteran, and she deserves her chance to redeem herself. And I think that she really did. And I cannot wait till she returns, Jacarius. But we can agree to disagree. It's fine. You can talk about it on your show, and I want to see your show. Alright, y'all. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. So thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned this Wednesday. We're going to watch something Christmas related for GH. You'll be posting videos late at night tomorrow. Okay. Let me know. Yeah, post on my community page on YouTube. Put the link there if you're able to. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you like this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday for a reaction to something GH Christmas related. Have a good night, y'all. Peace out.